Let's talk. We discussed today where I've put together mini kits to create a larger kit. Back to school emergency kits for back to school. So we're going to include everything from hygiene for the feminine hygiene kit, your vitamins for your immune system, fresh breath toothpaste. Yes, I got it. Deodorant, armpit funk, sweaty boobs. We're talking about all of the above of back to school for your emergency kit. First things first that you will need. You will need a bag to put it in or a backpack purse. They have lots of those. I have one that picked up at Amazon. I may link that after I'm done with this, but we're going to get into that. So let me set the tone for you all. So not only are we talking about back to school emergency kits, including hygiene and smell goods, school, depending on where you are, August is the month, whether it's beginning of the month or the end of the month. August is the month for school if you have kiddos, or if you're going to college, or you're going back to school, back to college. I happen to miss the college. I happen to miss it. I have a degree. You might can go back a couple videos, see what degree that is, but I'm not gonna get into that. So you have to be prepared when you go to school. So I find that there are some places that still have the back to school tax-free weekend. That may be happening for you, or maybe that has passed and you missed it. Cool. The tone for school is to be prepared. Now, what happens when you have all the school supplies, either yourself, if yourself as an adult, or you're the parent doing this for your children? You have your school supplies, you have your notebooks, you have your backpacks, you have the school uniform, or if there's high school for the first time or college, you ain't got to worry about that. You just got to set your clean clothes together, put your clothes out. How many used to do that? I remember that in the middle school and elementary days, get the shower or the bath before and all that. But you need something else. What happened when you have an emergency at school and you got to change your pants? You got to change your uniform. You don't smell good, or you need to be, maybe you do smell good. You just want an extra whiff of some perfume. That is where I come in. Love it. So I had a live stream a couple days ago talking about this, and I was doing my hair, and I don't want to say I was all over the place, but in that arena. So what you're going to need in your back to school emergency kit, this is outside of all your stationary notebooks. We're not talking about that here because that ain't what this is about. Feminine hygiene kit is the first thing that we're going to start with. Let me get a couple drops of water because we finna chat. We going in. Feminine hygiene was my main concern outside of getting my school supplies. And I'm talking about from elementary all the way to college, the last time I was in college. What I learned in the last 10 plus years is to have a feminine hygiene kit. I'm going to start with this for the ladies because this is something you absolutely need. This is something that no matter what instructor or teacher that you have, they must understand that. Man or woman, they must understand that we're going to need something like this on us at all times. This might be something you might want to carry with you even if it's not the time of month. And even when you have your whole backpack and your purse in your locker, you got to have this and at least the phone, if they allow you to have the phone if you're not in college. Yeah, I know this thing ain't just telling me low battery. We're not having that today. Feminine hygiene kit. So over the years I learned with trial and error to have one of these. What is this? This is not a specific feminine hygiene bag. This is a bag I picked up when I bought a purse. And you know how when you have a purse, the purse don't come just with the handle and everything else. I'm thinking of a purse I might have to go in my closet and show you. Gorgeous fuchsia color. So it's about this color here. Point I'm trying to make here is, if you buy makeup bags, they usually come in 1 to 3, and they're assorted colors. They come with a certain aesthetic. They come with a certain color for you to color coordinate. That's perfect. If you don't have it, go out in the stores to get it. Where do you get it? Places like, get your notepad because you might need it, Marshalls, Ross. Well, I wanted to say Victoria's Secret next. That would not have been correct. But they do have makeup bags like that. So maybe that is correct because I've seen it. They have the little makeup bags, the little accessory bags. You could buy it from there. If you don't want to spend as much, and it's not the semi-annual sale, that's fine. Ross, TJ Maxx, Burlington, Bell's Outlet. What are the other department stores? You might could go into places like Dillard's, because I was in there not too long ago, and where I smelled all the luxury scents. I seen all kind of nice clothing on the way to get into the luxury perfume section. So Dillard's ain't, you know, Dillard's is still pretty good. Take and single out, after you have your makeup bags, either you go buy them or you look through your stash. Pick a bag that's designated for things like this. What are things like this? I'm glad you asked. And see, the reason why I'm talking like this is because there's still people out there that they're not aware. They've maybe not been taught proper etiquette. Maybe they've not been taught about feminine hygiene. Either they don't have their parents or something going on, or they didn't take the time. That's fine. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Maybe I'll be able to help you. Feminine hygiene. We got tampons. I don't have a liner right now I can find, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to find it for this is all this is over with for this whole discussion. We got, we'll get into this later, Norforms. These are deodorant suppositories. Deodorizing from the inside of your lady parts out. These tampons I done had for so long, they still in the wrapper, they're still intact, and they're still good. This show you how long I've had this feminine hygiene kit. Has never failed me. Never. It's always gotten me out of a jam. I'm like, thank God. I'm like, I'd be so excited. Like, can you imagine having an emergency like that as a woman and then you not prepared? I can count the number of times in my hand I've had emergency and not been prepared before I implemented this feminine hygiene kit. Maybe about 2 times within the last decade or so. Since then, I've always been prepared. I never leave home without it. You also want to have pads of at least 2 different absorbencies. What are absorbencies for pads? Glad you asked that. Absorbency for pads are how much liquid, in this case, how much blood, how much of your cycle, your leakage that you experience as a woman that comes out. That's absorbency. Regular is for a regular flow. Super is for a more heavier flow. Then I've seen something called super extra in the Always brand. Super extra, extra, super, and they have overnight and all this other stuff for pads and tampons. For pads, even if you don't use pads, even if you're not the biggest fan of pads, what you need to do is still store those absorbency of pads, because you never know when your flow is going to shift and change from a lighter flow to a higher one. I should know. I can testify. I started off having fluctuating levels of my flow, and then within the last couple of years, it has changed and shifted. So I always prepare for it. 2 regular, 2 super. Sometimes I do 3 regular and 3 super of the pads. Then you want to add your feminine deodorant spray. I feel like I have it somewhere over here. And I do, without the cap. These caps never tend to really stay on well, so I'm talking to you Summer's Eve, Vagisil, and the rest of you that make these feminine deodorant sprays. You also want to have this in your kit. Now, if your bag is too small for your feminine hygiene kit for back to school emergency supplies, that are not notebooks and pens and papers, put this in your purse or either get a bigger bag. That has always proven to be, keep me prepared. Now, how do you pack this back to school emergency kit? Perfect example. I have 2 regular absorbencies. Those are usually in the yellow category, no matter the brand that I've found. I'm not sure why they go with yellow. Maybe it reminds me of a traffic stop. I don't know. Then we have 1 super, because I've been using. I got another super here. 2 regular on the left, 2 super. Pack your tampons first. Pack the largest to the smallest items like that. Largest down to the smallest items into your feminine hygiene kit. I put this at the bottom because I don't want to be digging forward and it be at the top and block me from the suppositories. Then we're going to pretend like these are panty liners. 2 or 3 of every absorbency of that. If it's only 1 absorbency, talking about any type of leakage that isn't your menstrual cycle, put that in there on top of the tampons. Then we have suppositories. Told you I was going to get into this real quick. What are suppositories? What are deodorant suppositories specifically? Not suppositories by themselves. That's for something else entirely, for bowel movements. We're not talking about that. Okay. They are meant to deodorize your feminine hygiene area, your downstairs area, your lady parts internally, and it uses your natural body temperature there to melt that down, which is why you need a pad to catch that leakage. As soon as you insert that in, it works the exact same way as your uterus lining shedding during each month of your cycle, ladies. That's what that's for. I don't suggest it every day, but definitely after your menstrual cycle. So we have about 3 of these. Some of these I got smushed. What I suggest for feminine hygiene products like this that are deodorant suppositories, I would highly suggest storing these once you have them in your feminine hygiene kit in a cool, dark place. So if you put it in your purse, in the locker, or anything like that, and them lockers is hot, in an area that's hot, you might want to keep the kit on you. Anybody got something to say about it? Tell them it's got your special lady stuff in it, and some of this stuff is prone to melt. What you talking? It ain't chocolate. Now, I do wish they would package them a bit different, where they look like chocolate, but then maybe that's a good thing, so that no one opens it up and think it's chocolate, because it's not. It's not edible. It's not worth the hospital visit, sis. I'm trying to tell you. And then this is going to represent, the rest of these tampons are going to represent your larger absorbency regular pads. Pretend like these 2 regular tampons are 2 regular pad absorbencies, and this represents the 2 super pads. Tuck those down and into the side of your feminine hygiene kit. And if it can fit, put that in there. It still happens to fit. But put that in there, zip it up. You now have the first part of your preparation for your back to school emergency hygiene kit. That's the first thing that you have. Now, another thing I found to be useful, whether it was my menstrual cycle or not, and I still am kind of not the biggest fan of it. Now I'm looking right at it. I would suggest finding more natural ways to do it, more non-medicine ways to do it. But if you have to, a full or large bottle of ibuprofen. I used to take Midol, Tylenol, ibuprofen, all those other ones that are specifically for the menstrual cramps. Why I have in recent years gotten off of this, if I have any pain or cramps, is because now I have learned to adapt. What I would do is, you don't want to be getting written up in school for stuff like this. And this is stuff right on the shelf or either found in your foods. If you can't take a lunch to school that contains the following items. So you can, I'm not a medical professional. I want to make sure I put that out there. I started about 2011, 2012. That show you how long ago it's been. And I need to get back to it because it has proven to I mean, my cramps are nearly non-existent when I take this stuff, when I commit to taking it. There are herbs and spices in our foods that contain what is called phytoestrogens to help with alleviate some of that, some of the cramps that you have. Fenugreek is one. This is the one responsible for that maple syrup spice. I have heard all over the internet and found that out myself long before I figured out all the other ladies found out about it, and it's spread like wildfire. You take this long enough, as long as you taking this, you gonna smell like maple syrup. That is true. There are also external ointments and creams that you can make with this, and I can get into that if you all would like me to. Taking this internally, what I would do with this is just focus on items with fenugreek seeds, toast them. Now, I'm going to warn you about the fenugreek helping to stop. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Hope everything's well. So I'm going to warn you about the fenugreek seed. Although it smells like maple, although it will have you smelling like maple syrup, the taste is an acquired taste. I have taken capsules of this when I first started out years ago and need to get back to it. Now, speaking from experience, it's an acquired taste. So it is bitter, although it smells like and will have you smelling like maple syrup for as long as you take it, start to finish. It's acquired taste. If you're going to put it in foods, I would put it in more savory foods and add a lot of seasoning. A lot of seasoning, not a lot of salt. So be careful. Wild yam, I would put that in more sweet foods. Make a tea out of it. I've heard people make teas. If you don't want to go with the capsule route, I would focus on fixing your lunches for school, whether you're in middle to high school or college. I would try bulking up on wild yam. The more that you eat it, olives include phytoestrogens. Eating the olives, it's either the green olives or the black olives, help with that, and that can help introduce those phytoestrogen compounds into your reproductive system as a woman and really help alleviate those cramps. You just start introducing more things and take them to lunch with you for school. That's what you do. Olives, I've heard, help with that. They also have other benefits other than alleviating those menstrual cramps during your menstrual cycle. If you want to go the extract route and put that in your drink and fix a smoothie in a thermal container, they have these. And again, not a medical professional, but I'm speaking off of what works from taking the capsules. If the capsules will work fine, from experience, the extracts, they have them greenbush.net. This is not sponsored. Speaking solely from experience. They have wild yam extract, a liquid extract that you can consume, put in your teas, put in your bakery, put in your food. Fenugreek extract. I still have the same food suggestions if you're going to go the extract route from greenbush.net. They have a specific area of women herbs, or it's a specific testimonial section when you go there to greenbush.net, not sponsored. And they're going to, I mean, the women are sharing anonymous testimonies to stuff of what they mix it with and all this. And this stuff is naturally in our foods. Now, what I would like to do, if you all would like to see it, I can go over at another time, not now, in further depth as to what foods you need to eat, that in case you don't want to take supplements or anything like that, can help. You can eat stuff that may aid in helping alleviate your menstrual cramps for your feminine hygiene, because it's very fascinating when I started getting into this stuff and then start trying it for myself and then seeing that it worked. And then I really had to, like, not that I wasn't paying attention before, I really had to pay attention then when I was taking these supplements, wild yam and fenugreek. I really had to pay attention then when I was taking it, because then I could barely tell that my menstrual cycle had come on. I barely had them cramps was like this, like just tapping my hand with my fingernails. Barely hurt. A love tap, just What is a cramp? Like, I was able to better manage everything else I had going on in addition to having my menstrual cycle every month for as long as I was taking these two things. So I wouldn't suggest carrying these supplements to school. What I suggest is packing a lunch full of those type of foods. If you like olives or willing to try olives, I would do that. I would also look that up on Google. Foods that are full of phytoestrogens, foods that help alleviate cramps. I would not suggest soda and caffeine. Now, if you're a person, you're going to go the route of taking medication, not a medical professional. Just my personal disclaimer. Then I would definitely go that route. You want to make sure you're taking a small bottle of this. Now, if they will allow you to use and mine doesn't work anymore mysteriously, I don't know why, because that's definitely essential. I'll use a heating pad. I got mine from Amazon. Use a heating pad. They'll let you sit close to the wall, wherever your seat is, and use a heating pad. If they won't let you use a heating pad, I'm going to tell you something else that works. Use and this is stuff I've tried in trial and error. Woo, excuse me. If they're not going to allow you to use a plug outlet to either charge a phone or either use a heating pad, because eventually everybody will be like, oh, can you share it with me and all that? That's how it is with school. I'll tell you what worked for me. Get yourself a bag of rice. It don't matter if it's brown rice, white rice. This is the OG method I tried, and it works. They should have, wherever you go to school, I'm hoping they have that in the cafeteria, a microwave. At home, you're going to need, I would get hair thread and a needle and thread. Hair, like you sewing in tracks and bundles, that's a stronger thread. Get yourself a sock, white sock, or I would go with a color sock, anything but white, so that way it's easier to clean. Get yourself a sock, pair of socks you don't care nothing about. Take that bag of rice, empty it into the sock, then sew up the very end of the sock that you put your foot in. This is now your heating pad. Sew it up really good so not even a grain of rice can come out of that thing at all. When you get to school, whip that thing out. They're gonna look at you crazy. You're gonna throw some people into something. What is that? You brought a filled sock. What that sock got in it? You can tell them rice. The thing about it is it's dry rice. Don't cook the rice. Put that thing into a microwave when you get to the cafeteria. This is for when you need it for cramps, if they won't let you carry a heating pad. They won't let you plug in an electric pad. They got all them rules and stuff. I know a lot of the rules is for your safety, so you have to understand it. But if they won't let you have the heating pad, okay, cool. Not a mini one, not one at all, none of those little items. If you can't find a portable one that's rechargeable or battery operated, go to sock and rice method. After you get through sewing that thing up, I don't care if you have to do it 2 to 3 times, pull the dry rice in there, don't cook it. Put it in that sock, sew up the open end that you usually put your foot in. Use a clean brand new pair of socks. That way you don't have to worry. Put that in the microwave for about 2 to 3 minutes. Put that on your side. Put that wherever you got them cramps. Deodorant, don't worry about it. Clinical. I'm good. And put that on your side and let it stay there until all the heat leaves that sock full of dry rice. What's essentially happening when you heat up that rice sock, that becomes your portable heating pad. You heat that up, that rice is going to hold that heat in the same way as if you were cooking it and adding water. You're never going to eat that. You're never going to eat it. I wouldn't suggest it. Don't try that. Please don't. Put that there. As it cools down, it's not going to cook the rice. It's just the rice is there to be, 1, held in the sock, and 2, to hold the heat so you can put it on the areas that you're having your menstrual cramps. By the time that heat leaves it, you should have gotten a couple of hours of, heat compressed relief. Then you don't have to worry about plugging the thing in the wall. Love that method. I don't know why I ever stopped. Now, I mentioned clinical deodorant. Do not go to school without clinical deodorant. I've tried regular Secret from the dollar store. I still got some in here brand new that I need to declutter, because why? Why I'm keeping it if it don't work for me? Still got a seal on it. Clinical deodorant has been my best friend for over 10 plus years. If you're watching this, I thank you so much to the family members that told me about it. I appreciate and love y'all so much, because the regular deodorant wasn't cutting. I had all kinds of armpit cheddar. And then once I was introduced to clinical deodorant, it changed the game for me. Now I use Nair or Veet in that little deodorant looking container, the Moroccan one, to get rid of the hair. And then once that's nice and smooth, I use the clinical deodorant. Now I'm gonna tell you something I don't like though. Depending on the formula at what type of clinical deodorant they have, the soft solid, then they have the plain solid clinical deodorant. I'll probably go with plain solid if you react to clinical deodorant in the same way that I do. Meaning you get all the hair off your arms with Nair or Veet, and then you put the clinical deodorant on and you still kind of sweating, which means it's still adjusting, your armpits are still adjusting to that clinical deodorant, because the hair is not there as a barrier to block it. And then you get that clinical deodorant is a must. If you can get it into your feminine hygiene kit, I would slide it in there. If not, I'm gonna tell you what to do, because always a way to get around these type of things and still be prepared. Walmart, Target, Trader Joe, wherever you could find the area in which, and it's in most stores, even in the Dollar Tree. Travel size, mini size deodorants. If you can find a mini size clinical deodorant that's not whether it's soft solid or just solid, invisible solid, you can find, and they usually half the size of that, the cute little things. Buy those and put those in your feminine hygiene kit and do that. All right, so we're done with that portion of things. Now, we're going to talk about lotions next. Pink Pineapple Sunrise Lotion, Bahamas Passion Fruit and Banana Flower Lotion, both from Bath and Body Works. I love carrying lotions to school. My problem is that lotion blowout in your purse or your backpack or whatever. Best way to prevent lotion blowout, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use one of these eyeshadow guards. They still got residue makeup on it, because you could peel that right off the bat. I'm going to use this as an example for tape. Here's how you prevent lotion blowouts if you want to carry your Bath and Body Works lotion. Maybe you want to carry your EOS Vanilla Cashmere Lotion. You got the lotion in the pump. It still works for that. I'm peeled off the wrong end. Okay. Best way to stop lotion blowouts, if you're going to carry them to school and you're not going to bother with, oh, I don't want to feel like purchasing an additional bottle, or I don't want to purchase those empty bottles of, y'all know what I'm talking about, and if you know, Dollar Tree, those travel size empty containers specifically for your toiletries. You don't want to go that route. You still want to carry the full size bottle. I ain't mad at you, first of all. This represents tape. If you have a bottle like this specifically, and most bottle lotions are like that aren't pumps, this represents tape. Directly over the area where it squeezes out, close it, make sure it's closed after you use it. This represents tape. Tape it across there, across the front, or place that in the middle. That's makeup on there now. using this as an example, tape it over the front and the back. And make sure the top is screwed on. So no matter what you do, it's not coming out. And you can put it in your bag safely and not have a lotion blowout. That is imperative. Very important. Very, very important. This is what prevents lotion blowouts. You can do this when you travel. You can do this only if you're not going on the plane now. If you're traveling, if you're going to put it in your backpack or your purse, it needs to be sealed with tape in this exact manner. Either in the middle, tape down the middle, or tape down the area where when you squeeze, it comes out. Close it securely, cap on, twist on securely. I recommend duct tape. You can use one of these eyeshadow sticker guards, but I recommend duct tape. It's a lot stronger. And then when you come back to use it, peel it off and just make sure you close it all the way once you're done. That way the lotion don't interfere with the adhesive for you to tape it back down. And you just do that. That way you're preserving your lotion, and then you prevent a lotion blowout from ruining the rest of the stuff in your purse or backpack. Because I can't stand a lotion blowout. I can't stand it. And I know I'm not the only one watching this or will watch after the stream is over with that thinks so. Can't stand a lotion blowout. Fragrances. Let me put these two supplements back in here. BODYCARE. Walmart is mainly where they are. Bath and Body Works white t-shirt. This is my scent of the day. Okay. White t-shirt. So usually, and I'm speaking from experience too, because even in college I was carrying the full bottle. It wasn't too much availability or either affordability of trial size, neither were they available of every last scent. So normally people carry their full size fragrance mist or perfumes with them. BODYCARE, if it is one that you need to go for two main reasons I'm about to go into. BODYCARE is good for longevity. So whatever scent you choose, check the bottle. I have an in-depth video about this that goes into it. If at least the first 3 to 5 ingredients have alcohol and fragrance in it, within the first 3 to 5 in that list, in the ingredient list, this is where you have to do your due diligence and be prepared. 9 times out of 10 it's going to have some longevity to it. Now there are some exceptions to this, because I've seen in Bath and Body Works, I've seen it in other brands I can't think of right now, and then they'll have the alcohol and fragrance in the first 3 to 5 ingredients of the ingredient list on the bottle, but then they don't have no longevity. So when it comes to that, I would patch test. I wouldn't necessarily do that with Bath and Body Works or anything that is not as strong in fragrance when you go on a special occasion, especially nothing like school. Because if that's the only thing you brought and you get in the jam and it don't last you long, you got a problem. Body chemistry is the biggest factor here. But you still want to choose well when it comes to taking fragrance mist or perfumes to school. You feel me? Okay. If you don't, we can chat. I'm all about putting you on and making sure you prepared. Because normally, whatever you go to school with, you can't leave in the middle of the day. And if you got a car, you got to pay attention in class. So I'm trying to make it easy for you. BODYCARE is a brand I recommend. They have a whole variety of scents. And what I like about BODYCARE, this was one of the first brands I've ever tried getting into hygiene as a teenager. BODYCARE is the OG. Kaale is another one that has the same structure of ingredients. Within the first 3 to 5 ingredients is alcohol and fragrance. They also have lasting power. I miss Kaale. My favorite scent from that brand is Hawaiian Ginger. I think I still have the bottle, but the nozzle is gone. It ain't stopped me from keeping it. I think I still have it. I have to look. BODYCARE, Kaale. What is another one? Body Fantasies. The one that has the cupcake fragrance and has the white jasmine and have those You usually can find that in Family Dollar, very affordable, as well as Bodycology. What I like about those three particular brands, Bodycology, Calgon, and Body Fantasies, is that when they launch a scent, they don't just launch the fragrance mist or the lotion like most brands do. No shade. They only do a lotion and a fragrance mist, and then they'd be like, oh, well, they don't need to bathe in it. Like, no, they come out with whole collections. Like you see strawberry cheesecake, there is not only a fragrance mist. They come out with a whole line because they know you're going to bathe in it. You're going to want to spray it in there and walk into the mist. They know when you go out and when you pass and walk by people, they want to leave a scent trail. So I'm excited about that. I'm one of those women. Okay. If I like a scent, I want to bathe in it. So we need a body wash. I want to moisturize in it, so I need a body lotion or a body cream. Then I want to mist it on in a perfume or fragrance mist. They get it. Calgon, Bodycology, Body Fantasies. They don't just launch scents, they launch collections to the scents. Majority, if not all, have collections to the scents. So that's the way to go for school. I don't care if it's high school. I don't care if it's college. I don't care if it's middle school. I don't care if it's for you or your daughter or your student that you have. So that has come in clutch for me all throughout middle school, high school, and college. Tried and true. All right, so we've gone over that. Should we do body washes? Yes, we should. Caress has been the OG for me. Shea butter and brown sugar, affectionately known as liquid gold. At this point, I've nearly tried all of them. Caress is good. 1, because of the quality. 2, because of the affordability. 3, because most, not all of them, most have, at least the ones that say exfoliating across the bottle of Caress, most of those I've found, I can't speak for the new formula, most of those I found that exfoliate, has those little particles throughout it, have lasting power. That's the first thing you want to bathe with before you go to school, either the night before or the morning of, before you head out the door. So the formula, the quick formula to my shower routine, and this is staple for me because it works. Feminine Hygiene, whatever you, Summer's Eve, Vagisil, whatever brand it is, Feminine Hygiene first. Then Caress. It's affordable, whether it's the bar soap or the body wash. Caress, the thing is, that scent is going to linger. Especially that shea butter and brown sugar, it's going to linger. Wherever you go down the hall, they're going to smell you. Okay. And then you put it with something like Bodycology in a complimentary scent. They got vanilla stuff too. They're going to smell you coming down the hall. My lip gloss is popping. My fragrance is popping. You feel me? My fragrance is popping. They smell me down the hallway in every class period. Okay? I made that up from the top of my head. We have gone on deodorant. We've gone over fragrances. We've gone over feminine hygiene kits, deodorants, fragrance sprays. We've even gone over if you have medicines and stuff like that. We've gone over supplements, and I don't want y'all to get in trouble, nor do I want your students to get in trouble if you're a teacher or a parent watching this too. So this go for everybody. Back to school. Feminine wipes. Feminine wipes. That's another one. If it can fit in your feminine hygiene kit, please do so. Summer's Eve is my favorite. They have plenty others. They have Vagisil. They have the FDS brand. They still making stuff. I'm surprised that a lot of the OG feminine hygiene brands, the OG ones, they still out there making the stuff. Norform is still doing what they do. Summer's Eve is still doing what they do. Vagisil is still doing what they do. And FDS still doing. Honey Pot, all the other newer ones, but the OGs are still out there. Change of clothes is the next one. I'm still going to say this. I said it on the last one. Change of clothes. If you have uniforms, that means you're going to have to wash 2 times as much of your clothing. High school, you got a little bit more lenient if your high school don't have uniforms. And in college, you normally don't have to worry about that. Bring a change of clothes, and then what I normally do is either put it in a, if you can't afford it, put in a grocery bag, extra grocery bag you have, or a large freezer size Ziploc bag that you can see through, and carefully fold up your clothes, pair of pants, good shirt, good bra, clean, at least 2 good pairs of clean underwear. And what you can do is you can slip the feminine hygiene kit in there. If you're not gonna have it with you in a nice, discreet looking, cute bag in class, carrying around with you all day, every day. Reason why I say clean your clothes or underwear, because anything can happen. They can spill milk on your lap, on your shirt, and then you got to walk around. I've been there before. Or maybe the food, maybe the lunch ladies cook some good pizza and it's Friday. You know what I'm talking about. Friday is pizza day, and you wore a white shirt. Maybe it's not a uniform shirt, and you get that stuff on you. It's always when you wear the bright colored shirts, and then they have something real nice, and it's a tomato sauce to it. I kind of missed that pizza. It was just missing pepperoni slices. Like, I really hope they got it upgraded. I really hope y'all pizza is better on Fridays, if they still do that. Bring the change of clothes just for that. Or if you have a menstrual emergency, that's what bringing a feminine hygiene kit is for. Shoes. I would only bring that in the event if you're going to PE class. Keep those in your gym locker or your regular locker. Make sure you wash those weekly. Wash your tennis shoes weekly, including the inserts to it. You don't want to be carrying around tennis shoes and this smell like feet and corn chips. Stale corn chips. Fresh pair of socks to go in that big, large, see-through freezer bag that would have your change of clothes. At least 2 good pairs of socks that you're not going to use as a heating pad and pour the dry rice in. Okay, completely separate purpose. Still got a summer's eve nighttime cleansing wash. That's my personal favorite, but you go with what works for you. Next thing you're going to need, they sell them in the stores. A mini body wash. I would do that. I was going to say mini mouthwash. Both. Do both. They come in them travel sizes. I've seen the little mini baby bottle of Listerine, the little mini bottles of body wash, shampoo and conditioner. I feel like that would be going too far unless you know your hair type, where if you go a couple days without shampooing and conditioning, then it would be a problem. Mini body wash or mini bar soap with a mini Listerine, and mini toothpaste and mini toothbrush. And they have a lot of those kits you can buy on Amazon that come in a resealable package. Definitely carry that in your backpack, put in your locker. If you drive to school, put it in the little car compartment on the right, on the passenger side in the front. Don't leave home without that either. If you're not gonna leave home without the feminine hygiene kit, don't leave without a portable toothbrush and toothpaste in the little baby bottles. You don't want to be going to school and you got all this other stuff and your breath is hot. I would also suggest the following mints. These are my personal favorites, and I've carried these to school and kept these. The Altoids, the Icebreakers, and the Mentos. Can't have hot breath going to school. And if it's hot, since a lot of schools in the United States of America start August, September, hot breath and hot weather do not go together. Bars. They don't. They don't. No. Bring the breath mints and the mini toothpaste and the mini toothbrush and the mini mouthwash along with your mini body wash. Bring that. Please do. If you're going to bring perfume, 1.7 ounce. Unless you're the type of person like me, you like bring full size, 3.4 ounce. Just make sure it's one that's nice enough to carry with you, but it's not overly expensive. Say that for special occasions like graduation or something else that's special to you. Unless it's your birthday, then go all out. It's your birthday, then go all out. This makes me want to go back to school again. It's fun. There's a lot you have to learn. You're learning yourself, especially high school. College, at that point, you're learning a different level of yourself in adulthood. But you should make sure your aim with going to school and with these emergency kits and everything outside of that, the purpose is to go to school being the best that you could be. Not necessarily trying to impress nobody. Unfortunately, anything before college, they do that. And sometimes in college, they do that. You be the best that you could be that you're happy with. So I do hope that this has certainly helped you. All of these body care tips and general tips of things I have done going to school. And now I still do it even though I'm not in school right now. If this has helped you, there is a playlist that I will have on either side for all of you to enjoy. I thank each and every one of you for your comments. I thank each and every one of you for watching and rocking with me even at this point within the live stream. I'll have it linked for you below to have a healthy snack. I do sincerely hope that this has helped. If you have any questions, you could message me privately via my email in the description box below if you don't want to leave a comment. Then I can just go ahead and address whatever concerns you have and then, turn into something you can watch and learn and take notes from over and over again. That's all for this session, and I love each and every one of you. See you next time. Love you.